Bramborough back with Grand Tactician Civil War Union Campaign in version 1.07. Theater by theater, we'll just go west to east here. Nathaniel Lyon still building his supply depot, but he's almost done. Almost done. He'll be here in one day. It does look like the Missouri State Guard has grown a little bit in size, or is about to. Still 8,500 men right now. And actually, Lyon is about to come up in size as well. He has a cavalry unit coming his way. Decided to send him a cav brigade because the cavalry will help him a little bit better with spotting on the campaign map. I'm trying to give all of these smaller forces at least, give them a cav brigade for that reason. Here in Tennessee, things are a little tense. Grant's army at Nashville has rebuffed every attempt by the Confederates to pry him out of there. However, there are more and more Confederates showing up here. Specifically, the Army of Tennessee, which has not yet entered combat. Right, we haven't fought this army yet, but it is growing. Currently at 21,000 men, and currently projected to increase in size to 27,000. There are 5 separate Confederate field forces in Tennessee right now. The smallest of them is the Western Army, at only 55 or about 5,000 men. But the others range from 11 to 7,000 right now for Polk's command, but more men coming, projected to return to 15,000 men. And it's hard to get the mouse over on every single one of these. Well, Army of Georgia, 11,000 men. Any one of these by themselves, not a big threat. Once they combine, or if they combine into one battle, it's going to be pretty sizable. Because of the two armies sitting here on the Cumberland River, I've told Isaac Stevens to hold off, and he should be stopping and not coming over here to besiege Fort Henry yet. We've got McClellan's Corps, the Appalachian Corps, ordered to use river movement to come down the Ohio to Louisville. He's going to pick up a couple of brigades there and probably another artillery battalion. And then I'm going to bring him further down the river to come assist with these forts, because not only is it just going to be fort sieges, they're going to have to deal with these two smaller armies over here as well. Initially, I had intended for Grant's army to help do that. However, I think Grant is pretty much stuck having to stay here for as long as the Army of Tennessee remains over in this direction. The Kanama Corps is coming down here and will build a supply depot to support its further operations to come through the Cumberland Gap and threaten Knoxville. In Virginia, so here's the basic correlation of forces. Every army, both Northern and Confederate, in Virginia is roughly 20,000 men, give or take a few, right? These are all roughly equivalent forces. They have 4 such forces, and we have 3 such forces. Furthermore, all 4 of theirs are on this side of the mountains, whereas ours are divided by the mountains. these armies over here cannot reinforce the army of the Rappahannock and vice versa. And it has to stay that way. It's not as simple as just marching over the mountains, because the Army of Pennsylvania can't march across the mountains due to its readiness state. Still in the red, and will not be able to execute any movement orders within the state of Virginia until it gets back up into yellow. However, I can order it into West Virginia, and it will recover readiness faster on Union territory. So I'm going to tell the Army of Pennsylvania just to fall right back here to Harper's Ferry, which is now in a Union state. To be honest, I don't know why I didn't think of this before. And sure, it's a short distance, but use the rail to get there. And I'm going to do the same thing with the Cav force for the same reason. Meanwhile, Army of the Chesapeake. Now I could just order him over the mountains, over by the Army of the Rappahannock. I'm not going to do that just yet, though. I don't want to leave Winchester completely just open. So I'm going to have McDowell build fort here, so that there's always an obstruction here to Confederates trying to come at Winchester from the south. I think I'm going to have to put it over on this side of the road. Yeah, it's fine. And I'll probably just trash my credit rating. Actually, I had probably already trashed my credit rating at the end of the month. I did off-camera recruit a few new units in the 2 recruiting departments. Over on this side of the mountains, the last battle that Winfield Scott fought here was judged a success because of its aim of regaining control of the supply depot here. The problem being, there is no supply depot here because the sneaky rebels burned it down on their way out. Which was actually probably a pretty smart thing to do. That does leave us with no supply depot around here. However, at the moment, Winfield Scott's army does have 100% supply flow. Now, he's low because of the battle he recently fought, and he's still on low food at the moment, but they're coming, his ammo and his food and forage are coming back up. So there's enough supply capacity in the area from Washington and Alexandria and the IIPs here to support his army. I don't think there's going to be enough to support more than one army, and I don't want to leave it so that this is the only force we have in the area. So I'm going to have Winfield Scott build a supply depot here to replace the one that was burned down. And that was a tier 2 also. So even this isn't going to fully replace it. We had been very slowly working on some economic subsidies, just a few. I could take market reform now, or I could wait and bank it all up for a credit rating boost in the future. This is a tremendous amount of money. I think I'm going to go ahead and work on market reform. I'm going to take that now. We are very, very close to finally getting the farm mechanization that we've been waiting for, but I'm going to have to advance time, probably just a couple of days before that's ready. And the last time we had a sizable amount of industrial subsidy. We took subsidized industry And now we've got some, and I'm going to take the other one, infrastructure reform. And this should marry up nicely with the market reform that we just obtained as well. On the military side, organization reform is getting quite close. This will probably be finished out before the end of the month, before the end of March. And we're still some distance away on British rifles. Still 1.4 million to go on a subsidy level of about 1 million a month. Yeah, so we're looking toward the end of April, maybe third week of April, before British rifles is able to be unlocked. Okay. Patrol time. Historical flavor. Yeah. Just issued some bonds. I bet we did. I wonder how much. And 25 million. That's the usual increment. Farragut is in port. There, the Springfield Depot is better now, or is built. Therefore, Lyons Force should be improving now. Okay, George Thomas is back on Union territory. Let's see if his readiness will come up a little bit faster now. Started working on this fort here. Something else completed building. What is that? Construction of Fort Hyman. Oh, right. Well, they got it back up to 100% pretty fast. Okay, these Confederate armies here, having recently been beaten by Grant at Nashville, are now starting to move up this way. Yeah, we dropped the credit rating. We're now at A+, single A+. Is farm mechanization available? What? I guess it's going to have to move a little bit further than that. I just thought a day would do it. Is McClellan coming down the river yet? No. He has left Charleston, though. He's making this little overland journey to the river first. Cadwalader has arrived at London. Let's move him a little bit further up the road here. Okay, McClellan has arrived at Louisville. I'm going to go ahead and transfer a few more units to him now. He already had some fill-out units, some replacement units chasing him. Maybe I should have waited for these to show up. But the 55th Brigade and the 56th Brigade earmarked for him. We'll wait for all those guys to show up and get them fitted out. Yeah, I think Thomas's readiness is starting to come back up a little bit better. Or maybe it was coming up at a perfectly fine rate all along. It's just I think this is the first time we've had 10 unbroken days of no battles in this campaign since, I don't know, like October. Fort Norfolk rebuilt. Let's tell Banks to come on over and land here. Using sea movement. And now we're capturing Norfolk. Okay. With just one brigade. This whole situation is actually pretty precarious if any of these Confederate armies decides to actually come down to Fort Monroe and Fort Norfolk and the city of Norfolk. Okay, we got our breadbasket 1 complete. And I think the next thing to go with is going to be Enrollment Act. And that's to get that speed of replacements coming. Apparently it was a battle. Okay, Charleston Blockade just beat off the Savannah Squadron. Possibly 2 Savannah Squadrons. Here comes another Savannah Squadron. Savannah Squadron 3 coming out to attack the Charleston Blockade. Let's see how they make out. See how the Savannah Squadron make. There's another squadron coming. The Port Royal Squadron. They're really coming after the Charleston Blockade. But it doesn't even look like they're fighting. They're just making contact and then immediately retreating. We're not capturing any ships here. And is Charleston Blockade's readiness being driven down at all? And down a little bit. I don't think they're in any danger, though. There comes another squadron coming, though. They are sending out a lot of squadrons at once, trying to get after the Charleston Blockade. Which it does look like Charleston Blockade is in a little bit of trouble here. Yeah. Okay, now. I think this blockade squadron probably needs a bit of attention. Okay, first of all, we've got a couple of captured ships here. Let's bring those into the harbor pool. Saratoga obviously needs to come into the harbor pool. These 4 ships are okay. I don't know what we've got in the harbor pool to send back out to the Charleston Blockade. The combination of Charleston and Savannah is a little bit more important than Wilmington. So let's shift Susquehanna and Wabash. To the Charleston Blockade. And that's going to take them a little while to get there, I think. And did drive down their readiness enough where Charleston Blockade currently is not blockading. So those combined Confederate small fleets temporarily accomplished their mission. And that's Army of Mississippi, the Army of Georgia, and the Western Army. They've all come back to Nashville. And this time he's got roughly an equivalent force to Grant. Slightly more infantry, slightly less cavalry. And that's primarily because Grant has this independent West Scouting Force with him now. Okay, we're on the Murfreesboro map. We are in a attacking situation, which I don't quite understand. Grant's army was sitting in defensive mode in Nashville, minding his own business, not particularly wanting to get attacked. And Johnny Reb comes along and attacks him, but now we're the ones tactically in the attacking situation. That's fine. Okay, so here's the objective. I certainly don't want to maneuver in such a way to come around and attack across this creek, so we're definitely going to come from the east. Whether we come at it from kind of the northeast axis or the southeast axis will depend upon how the Rebs set up their defensive position in the area. So we'll send the cav up to have a look. But either way, Grant's army is going to be marching straight up the Murfreesboro pike. And so they're set over here to take their orders to move on up. So I've got marching to do, some scouting to do, and I'll be back. So cavalry has come up far enough that we've caught sight of some Confederate positions. They've got some over here and some over here across the creek. Well, I'm certainly not going to attack over here across this creek and at this crossing, especially not with the objective on my side of the creek. So I think what we're going to do is bring the Army of the Ohio up right in here, probably take one division and kind of face it, position it here, facing the creek, and the other three divisions are going to plow right into this Confederate position here along this axis. Hopefully we'll break these guys up and then be able to establish our own perimeter right along this creek with the possession in our objective. That's the plan. We'll see how it works out. Okay, it's just before 10 o'clock on day one here. Grant has got his army moved up. We're right here in these woods. One division is kind of facing this other Confederate position along the Wilkinson Turnpike. And there's some skirmishers up here just kind of keeping some vision in that direction. These guys haven't moved so far. Somewhere got a message that the Army of Georgia has just moved onto the field. Could be back here, could be over here. Don't know where. They would have turned the entry point, even if it was an uncontrolled gray or white colored entry point like this one, they would have turned it red when they came onto the field. So it's not down here. And it's not behind us. So the Army of Georgia is either over here or up this way. I kind of feel like it was long enough ago. I kind of feel like the cav back here would have seen them in this area. So we do have 4 decent size, not the little tiny ones, 4 cavalry brigades on the field now. 2 of them in the scouting force and 2 in Grant's own army. So Fremont has his 2 cav brigades here. And then Grant has 2 cav brigades, 1 here and then 1 over here on his left flank. 3 of the 4 infantry divisions are all under orders to step off at exactly 10 o'clock together. The annoying thing about that is when you give as I found out just now when I was trying to give that order, you can order a time or a type of advance, or movement. For example, if you want to move off at exactly 10 o'clock, you can do that. If you want to order a movement in advance mode, you can do that. Can you order a movement at 10 o'clock using advance mode? You cannot. Or if there's a way to do it, please clue me in. I could do one or the other. I couldn't do both. So they're going to start moving at 10 o'clock. And they're going to start moving forward, but as soon as they make contact, they're basically just going to stop. And then I'll have to give them further advance orders, but that's okay. We'll get them all moving at the same time, and that's important. Or rather, that's what I'm trying to do. So, off we go. And then as soon as the infantry clears ahead, the artillery's in a terrible spot right now. I couldn't find a better one. But I'm going to move them over here into this clear area, right behind the infantry. Oh, maybe the artillery does. At least this guy can shoot. 17th bet. See, they're just marching in column ahead, though. If it had been an advance order, they would have been advancing in line. But they had skirmishers in front of them. I don't think that hurt anything. These brigades are still moving through here. It's fine. Okay, apparently Kearney's brigade isn't doing so well there. Ord's brigade, low cohesion, coming through all that force. Skirms have served their purposes, pulled them in. Kind of thought that bringing forward a whole bunch of brigades at once in a timed advance would mean that we would get a lot of fire on this in brigade quickly. I guess not. Okay. Now we've got Wolfe firing on Clanton. We've got Kearney firing on Clanton. We've got Ord, however fragmented, firing on Clanton. Got some more skirms over here in front of Wallace and Quinby's divisions firing on Clanton. Okay, Ord is regaining cohesion, so he's going to be in fine shape. King's in good shape. All these guys are regaining cohesion in here. Getting let's get this artillery up like this. It's going to be any better than it is now. These woods are at just the right angle to be really awkward. Okay, Clanton is beginning to waver. Excellent. Kearney has taken 217 casualties. He's down to 1,400 men. I'm going to leapfrog Sherman ahead of him for the next stage of this. Matter of fact, I don't see any reason not to just leapfrog Sherman ahead of him right now. Okay, Clanton is broken. Okay, Sherman is moving up. Ord can move up. I guess Van Dorn is going to be the next customer here, cleaning out these parapets. Wait for Sherman's brigade to pass through Kearney's, and then we'll get Sherman and Wool moving together. Sort of. Move Wool a little bit over to the man, I know this is not going to work out well. Every time I try to do something like that, it goes all squirrely. Yeah, let's get this division commander up here closer. Where's Grant? Yeah, I think you need to be up here, buddy. Skirmishes over here to harass artillery if they can. They're probably going to engage Van Dorn's brigade instead. It's all right. Okay, so these guys are part of the Army of Georgia. So they came in from down here. And all these fellows are starting to come across the bridge. These guys are in the Army of Mississippi. Okay. Bring this artillery to about here. It's taken Sherman forever to get into position there. Ford is disrupted again. I'm going to have Wolf fall back just far enough to be in forest cover. I think he'll still be in range to fire there. Maybe not. That looks like forest. These guys aren't getting any forest cover either over here, which seems strange. There'd be some dismount this cav. See how that works out. Meanwhile, so Fremont send both of his like that. Bull was wavering, but he picked up the commander nearby and the cav nearby bonus. That perked him up. And now cav is coming in on Randolph's flank. 4 infantry coming in from over here. Now, how's it going for Hamilton's division? It's kind of going okay. They haven't been attacked yet. Sherman actually firing anything? Is he turned around? Oh my goodness, he's got Springfield muskets. I don't know how many times I've been through those damn armies checking for that and I still missed one. No wonder he wasn't shooting at anything. Okay, we got a bunch of cav firing at arty over here. That can't last for very long. Charging cavalry. Okay, all this artillery is broken back here. Let's get this cav brigade. No, I don't want you charging. Just turn and shoot. Come on back here. Now. Man, that's a lot of Johnny Rebs over there. 1,700 to 1,000. We've just about got all these guys wiped out now. Well, I wanted them to move, but they're not. Let's do what we can to completely wipe out these units. Oh, there's fences in here. Didn't see those. That's what was messing up the cav units. Okay, Rowley was getting nervous there. He almost broke, but he didn't. Fine job. I think he'll recover when he gets his commander nearby. Okay. Let's get McDowell's division reoriented for this way. And Prentice's division as well. We're just going to have to let Raleigh sit by himself for a while. Current morale 40%. Yeah, he's getting plus 39% per hour. He'll be fixed up pretty soon. He's already back up to stable now. Sumner's division. Just march them over this way. I still can't find a good spot for Artie in this mess. Let's bring them over here. It's not a great spot. Things are about to get pretty hairy for Hamilton's division before the other divisions come up. Maybe. Maybe we just routed commander units over here. I feel like there's a division I haven't ordered to do anything yet. Where's Grant? Okay, McPherson's brigade engaged with Mississippi's. I thought he was in woods cover back here. I guess he's not. He's falling back a little bit, so he is. Or he can't, because there we go. That's what I wanted. Division over here, getting to hold off the rebel hordes. Sumner's division about like that. Dowell's division. They're still moving up, but let's get them over here. And just as guys are coming here. Just have Hamilton, Schuyler Hamilton, fall back to about here. Have to die on that particular fence today. The skirms can stay there until they rout, though, holding off that cav. Let's walk this artillery back a little bit before they get wrecked. Okay, we got a lot of bluecoats coming into these woods over here now. We're also taking the objective. Let's get Fremont's guys across the creek. That may or may not be useful, but they might eventually get up to some mischief over there. Man, that's a big clump of rebels there. And once again, there's really no good... Here, let's see if we can get the artillery over here. Well, you know what? It did say they were firing. So apparently they are finding targets. Man, that's about to get hairy quick. Where's those guys' division commander? How come I give Prentice an order and his brigades move, but he does not? Man, this is a strong attack coming here. This cab better dismount. This division here, I don't even know where their brigade commander is. But they're proving pretty worthless. Turn initiative off on any of you guys. You need to rotate, then rotate. Smith just needs the plane to fall back. He can't rotate. Yeah, Smith fall back a little bit. Ord moving up a little bit on his flank. That works. Where is these guys' division commander? McDowell. These guys are beat. These guys are beat. These guys. I don't understand what has tired those guys out. They have done less and marched less distance over the same ground as all these other brigades over here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. Hamilton's 40th Brigade of Ohio troops, broken. Under the circumstances, probably not surprising. Supported by cavalry, McPherson's still doing okay over here on the left flank. Pennington's cavalry doing well. We got a gap here in the middle, though. CF Smith just needs to rotate just a little bit, remove his flanking debuff. Okay, there he goes. Okay, everybody's banging away all the way through here. Where's the reserve brigade? Mitchell. Let's head you over this way. About like so. Try to close that gap a little bit. This artillery isn't going to last long here. Alright, firing. Okay. You're just going to have to stay there and take it. Keep firing. Oh. Cavalry. You need to focus on these guys. Help out McPherson. Once this brigade is clear, I think the cav can clear out this artillery over here. Okay, wavering brigade here, or broken brigade here, wavering brigade here. $7,500 to about $3,800, about a 2-to-1 casualty exchange. Feels like it ought to be a little closer than that. What percentage are they at? 22.8%. All right, keep firing, boys. Vast majority of these brigades have the Ace of Spades perk, which means that they have more cover, in cover. Boy, I think that made the difference here in these woods. Kind of the last hurrah right here. Okay, look here at the casualties inflicted. And actually, the cavalry divisions did pretty well. Second Cav Div, that was Pennington. $536 and $262, not bad for the other Cav. Artillery division, yeah, they just didn't have good placement the whole battle. They still managed 170. Third division carried the load there with over 3,300 casualties inflicted. That was Hamilton's division, and that was the defensive division over on the left that it took the initial brunt of the large Confederate push. And I would bet that this 1573 was probably dealt by McPherson. Yes. First and second division also did well, 1,300 and almost 1,600 casualties apiece. And fourth division just laid an egg in this battle. So it's going to wind up being a major victory. Almost 4,000 casualties for us. So that was not a walk in the park. Not there toward the end. We lost a few guns there. I remember there was the one battalion that was taking some fire and wavering there toward the end. 8,500 casualties for Cooper's force, which was a little bit bigger than ours. Lost a little bit more than half of his guns. It's a pretty good battle overall. Two very distinct phases, and neither one of them was a complete pushover. It was that first phase was pretty obviously going to go in our favor, but there was a little bit of friction there, just pushing those few brigades out of the woods and out of the entrenchments. and then getting everybody back across the big field to take part in the defense on the left flank. Okay, 4,700 infantry arms picked up, 22 artillery, and 1,700 rebels headed to the POW camp. Not our POW camps, our POW camp. Singular. Pack them in, boys. And Davis picks up some fame. I think he's one of the cavalry division commanders. And that will do for this episode. If you like what we're doing with this channel, if you like the content, then leave a like, leave a comment, maybe even subscribe. If you're new to the channel or new to the series and want to catch some of the other episodes that you may not have seen in this playthrough, link in the playlist right here. At any rate, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it.